So here is our Griffin analogue colorimeter, very old, very venerable, but quite robust, and these seem to outlast the digital ones. We've gone through several sets of digital ones, and these are still going strong, and they must be 40 or 50 years old at least. The principle of a colorimeter is that inside the gadget there is a strong light which shines through this container here, into which you're going to place your sample in a little square test tube called a cuvette. And you're also going to use a colour filter. In this case we're using 490 nanometers wavelength, which is a sort of greeny colour. I don't know whether you can see the colour. And that's going to go into this slot here. And that'll enable us to see the colour change when we carry out some tests. I've turned the gadget on a minute or so ago. We're going to leave it for 5 minutes just to warm up, and once it's warmed up we'll be ready to calibrate it with a blank. So it's now 5 minutes since we turned the colorimeter on. It should be nicely warmed up, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to calibrate the machine. It's not intelligent, therefore it doesn't know what clear actually is. So I'm going to train it using distilled water, which I'm going to place into this cuvette. So there's some distilled water. I'm going to fill the cuvette almost to the top, and I'm going to place it into the container here. You might be able to see that this cuvette has got a side which is frosted and two sides which are clear, and you might also just be able to see that just there is, if I do that you might be able to see there is a downward pointing arrow etched into the plastic, and you need to have that downwards pointing arrow, if there is one there, towards you on the colorimeter. So it will be on this side here. So what we've got is a cuvette with distilled water in, we've got our filter in place, and the reading here at the moment is 65. And what I want the machine to do is to recognise that this water is completely clear, to give us a baseline to work from. And in order to do that, I need to just turn the dial, the fine dial, up to 100. And that means 100% of the light is passing from this side of the colorimeter through the sample into the receptor as well.